Mitsubishi Motors is easily my all-time favorite car brand. They have built some of the most legendary names in all of off-roading. Whether it's the legendary early Gen 1 Pajeros and Monteros tearing it up in things like Dakar, or the Mitsubishi Evo killing it both on track and off-road in rally races, there's a lot of pedigree behind the name Mitsubishi Motors. Lest we forget that it's also Mitsubishi that helped revive the tuner car culture here in the United States, that being the Mitsubishi Eclipse. It's a brand that we've talked a lot about on this channel, and it's a brand that has a lot to recover from. And despite how well the current Mitsubishi Outlander is selling, the company's still facing some serious problems selling here in the United States. Well, today on this episode, we're going to try and tackle how to fix Mitsubishi's problems. What's up, everybody? My name is Nick Lanza. This is Car Rant, and if you're new around here, we do builds, reviews, and have candid conversations like this one all about cars. And if that sounds interesting to you, please consider hitting that like and subscribe button. Let's get into today's topic. Recently, I actually found an article online that was talking about how Mitsubishi is struggling despite the success that is the Outlander. Whether it's not great reviews or it's just struggling because it's only got one good model selling, Mitsubishi is facing some serious trouble here in the good old US of A. Let's just get this settled right here out the gate. Mitsubishi is probably not going to listen to us because we would have tried things very differently. For one thing, we would have never gotten rid of fan favorite titles, period. If they sell well and people want them, why get rid of them? It just doesn't make sense to us. Sure, there were issues because of things that had been done in the past, but find a way to balance your books without sacrificing something that sells well and people are passionate about. Because when you nix what people are passionate about, you lose some of your brand recognition and loyalty, something that Toyota and Nissan have learned the hard way. We also would not be replacing cars with SUVs. In the case of the Eclipse Cross, the biggest detractor from that vehicle in the beginning was the fact that it had the name Eclipse on it. People already had a very specific connotation with that name, and to completely just misname a car was not a good look, and it took a long time for that thing to finally become a recognized, like, yeah, this isn't actually a half-bad SUV. Recently, Mitsubishi announced that they were going to actually put out 25 new models. And despite the fact that the Outlander is pretty much the only thing making the money, that is an ambitious decision to say the least. Now, to be fair, in my opinion, this number is a little bit skewed because it's not really new models, right? There's the fully electric, gas powered, and then the partially hybrid electric vehicle versions of several of these vehicles. And I feel like that should just not be considered a new model, even though that's how they're counting it. It really should just be considered a trim option. Out of these 25 vehicles, there are a few in there that I think would really help Mitsubishi save their position in the United States if they actually sold these vehicles here, because the majority of their 25 vehicles are not going to be sold here at all. And in fact, one of those vehicles is the Mitsubishi Triton. For those of you who aren't aware, the Mitsubishi Triton is the Mighty Max. It's the successor of it. After the Mighty Max left the United States in the 90s, it was sold under the badge title of Triton. And yes, we did get it here in the States for a little bit, but the Triton eventually just went to foreign markets only. It's a machine that harkens back to when Mitsubishi was known for making really good trucks, especially for off-roading, or at least just being in the sticks and not on pavement. Sure, mini truck culture kind of went a different direction, but you could still find guys who are literally doing 4x4 things with their Mighty Max and converting them to do 4x4 things because, well, underneath the Mighty Max chassis is a Pajero chassis, so why not? Mitsubishi choosing to revitalize and resurrect this name as another light-duty pickup truck is a great decision, but they need to sell it in the United States because right now, mini trucking is pretty big. I mean, as it sits, the vintage truck market is really starting to explode, given that people are spending $10,000 and $20,000 okay, for a Ford Ranger. Yeah, the mini truck thing in the States is really coming back. But in addition to this, the light duty truck market is huge right now. Between Tacomas and the new Ford Ranger coming back around, and even some of these other light duty trucks from like Hyundai, they're very popular. And especially in my area, they would sell like hotcakes on Christmas. The demand for light duties has probably never been higher than this millennium, because everybody and their grandma wants one. Even if it's not the most practical thing in the world, they like the commanding position without having the gas guzzling hog that a lot of these other trucks have in their engine bays. They want the ability to just go anywhere, do anything at any time, and thanks to things like the pandemic, people are more willing to go out there and explore, go into the wild, if you will, go RVing, go camping, go do stuff out there instead of in here. And because that hype is still very much here, this would be a great opportunity for Mitsubishi to capitalize on what they're very good at, given their long prestigious history into car and other forms of off-road rally, and just go, yeah, you want to go somewhere, you pick a Mitsubishi. That's just what you do. Another vehicle that I definitely want to see come to the United States is the Delica K-Van. Now, K vehicles are a foreign thing for Americans, quite literally, because they were originally meant for only the Japanese market. However, the hype for a minivan that's smaller, that still has all the function and capability of a van, being able to take multiple loads of people and things and everything else in between places, is also still very high. Think of it this way, you have a lot of families that started as a result of the pandemic. People have multiples of kids. One of my own family members got 4 of them because of the pandemic. People got bored, what can I say? Well, thanks to that boredom, they now have multiple kids and they need some way to transport them. But they live in the middle of a very busy city. New York City, in fact. And parking is very difficult, fuel is expensive. This is the target audience for a K-Van. And going back to the Triton a little bit, if they brought back the Delica name, that would do so much for the brand, because the Delica was a legendary van. It was capable of off-roading with 9 people in the car. The Delica was built on the same platform and chassis as the Pajero, just as a cab over, with the same manual and automatic transmission options and the same diesel and 6-cylinder engine options. It was a Pajero, but for someone with a lot of people. And to bring back such a powerful present name like that into the scene would do amazing things for their marketing and branding. If they're able to deliver on the performance that was the original Delica in a smaller package, that would do very, very well right now. And more importantly, if they did make the micro van available here in the United States, I think it would still do really well, because there's still a demand for these smaller yet still very capable vans. The only problem is that Mitsubishi has withdrawn the Mirage from the United States. And the Mirage slash G4 slash whatever you want to call it, their micro car just was too much of a micro car. In other words, instead of it being capable of doing car things, it was really doing well at just doing micro things. You couldn't put a lot in it. It was really meant only as like a small city commuter type situation, whereas a mini van, the Delica van, could do really well if it really capitalizes on its van capabilities while also being a small package. That would sell well in the United States right now. Plus, the last time Mitsubishi sold a van in the US was almost 30 years ago, and I think a van would do pretty well right now, given all those very bored people we talked about earlier. Especially if you pair it with this really nice 2.5 liter that's in the Outlander. Yeah, a full-size minivan would do really great right now. But with those 2 models, there is the linchpin of the problem. It's Mitsubishi's marketing. As it sits right now, Mitsubishi's marketing is very simple. Show the lineup of cars, show them with rally R badges, all lined up in some kind of nicely contrasted desert environment, because they're trying to show off their off-road capabilities. Cool. Doesn't tell me the performance of the vehicle, doesn't tell me how well it performs, period, let alone on dirt. It's just a nice poster. Whereas some of their Japanese competition, like Nissan, is killing it. Think back to when they first unveiled the Z. They got Brie Larson in there, driving up in an original Datsun, and then flashing forward into the new Z with the nice flying V formation of all the other models trailing behind in the desert. That was amazing. It's a legendary name coming back to the forefront with a very much on-brand actress and doing something really cool with great thematics and music. And then there's Mitsubishi. Check it out. We got rally art. Sweet. It's back. Now, yes, Mitsubishi is owned by Nissan, and of course, Nissan is going to want their cars to be pushed forward more so than, say, someone else in their alliance like Renault or Mitsubishi. However, that shouldn't stop Mitsubishi from trying to really capitalize on what these particular two models I mentioned could bring to the table here in the United States. Their president was quoted as saying that they wanted to utilize rally art to showcase their performance, to showcase what they can do. And that's what they need to focus on in their marketing. You don't have pictures of any of their models going out there and hitting a dune and catching air and landing it like it belongs there. You've got stationary stills on a red sandy beach, basically. When they finally do unveil the Triton, they need to bring that thing out into the sticks and let some A-list actor just go have fun driving around. Do stupid stuff. Go bouldering with it. Go roll it through a river. Go do whatever it takes to show off that our trucks, our vehicles can do it all. Our vehicles are capable of whatever it is that life's gonna throw at you or wherever you feel like going. They need to show that that truck is capable of doing anything you can think of. And with the Delica van, they could just as easily showcase what it's capable of and where that road, that adventure, that whatever it is you're thinking about doing with your vehicle, they need to be able to show that it can do it and make it comfortable. Quite frankly, the Mitsubishi Outlander is a fantastic SUV. I know there's a lot of reviews that, this, and they're nitpicking these little things. I was amazed at how comfortable, how nice the new updated looks of everything was. I like the way this car looks and behaves. If they can capitalize that and just splash it everywhere on those two new models, and then show off that they did that, and then show off that it's even better, that would be the best thing for the brand. All in all, the bottom line is that Mitsubishi needs to bring a light-duty pickup truck and a very fun van to the United States to stay relevant with the current consumer market. And if they really want to lean into that enthusiast market, they make sure that they bring back the Delica in the right format, not just as a K vehicle, but as a full-size off-road capable van. Because at this point, that would be one of the coolest things to ever be sold, and it would probably really scratch the itch for a lot of niche exploration types. I myself would happily trade in my Outlander for something like that, because that sounds like a good time. But what do you think? Let us know down in the comments below. Do you think I'm full of it? Do you think that Mitsubishi is just a dying brand that needs to finally get reabsorbed into Nissan and call it a day? Or do you think that there's a chance that this brand can really reestablish themselves as an off-roading choice? Let us know down in that comment section. I would love to hear what y'all think, because we like to have conversations down there with you guys. But without further ado, thank you all for watching. God bless you guys. And if you want to see more of our content, check out this box here. This is everything from this season. And if you want to see what we most recently did, this is going to be where you look. Otherwise, thanks for watching. We'll see you guys next time. Peace.